Good morning, parents. It's Frizelma Lynn, the Parenting 911 coach, and I'm just wanting us to enjoy every day. Look at the beautiful sunrise behind me. It's a new day. It's a new day. Whatever happened with our children yesterday, or last night, or last week, or last month, or last year, we have a new day, a new start, a fresh beginning. So when something happens with our children, we need to make sure we handle things calmly. So calm down first and handle things then. Not, in the heat so much of the moment, because you need to make sure you're calm before you try to handle a heated situation. Then you need to make sure that whatever consequences need to come with it when the situation calms down. Use your consequence chart, and we've talked about it, and I hope you've created one. If not, please go to the segment that talks about how to create a consequence chart. Positive consequences, negative consequences, what we call rewards, and then what we call punishments. When you have that chart created, it's so much easier then to use it in handling what the follow-through. Let me say it that way, the follow-through. Because we are supposed to deal with our children calmly. However, the follow-through has to have some bite to it. Even a reward, it should catch your children off guard, be a great thing. So I was talking to a father yesterday. He was the driver for me, the Uber. And in our conversation, we were talking about parenting. I said that I was a parenting coach, and we were talking about in parenting, you have to learn how to just tolerate even your own children, because sometimes we don't like them. We don't like their attitudes. We don't like how they come across with us. But we have to learn how to handle that and not wear our feelings on our shoulders. And so the conversation went on, and he would say, you're so right. We have to learn to tolerate everybody because, everybody has a right to be here on the earth. We have to learn how to tolerate everybody, to some extent. We have to learn how to tolerate them. And then as the conversation went on, he said his son, is sad because dad has to work so much. And so he's teaching his son that the man has to go out and provide. He said normally the man is not the one that's at home, spending so much time with the children. That's more the mom's nurturing responsibility. He said the man is out making sure that the family has what they need and many things that they want. And so he says, he told his son, I know you're sad because, we can't just hang out all the time. And I know we need to have, special time together. He said, but I am out here trying to make sure we can have what we need at home. And so just thinking about that conversation makes me, I was impressed with him, first of all, and impressed with his conversation with his son, teaching his son about being a man with a family, providing for his family. And then thinking about it, I thought about a great reward for his son would be just once in a while taking off an hour or changing his lunch time around so that he can surprise his son. What a great reward, that would be, to just be able to surprise his son and say, okay, we have an hour. We're going to have some special time together. So parents, I want to make sure you realize, you have to have some special time with them. And so I started this off talking about a new day, look at this beautiful new sunrise. Oh my gosh. So when you deal with an issue with your children, make sure that once it's dealt with, it's finished. You don't have to continue to harp on it. You don't have to continue to throw it in their face. You don't have to continue to just bring it up. Every day, everything they do, everything they say, you bring that up. No, if you've dealt with it, then it's done. It should be over. Now you start over with them on whatever that issue is or any other. You start over. Just like this new day. Just like this new day. It's a new start, a new beginning. We have to make sure our children know that once we've dealt with an issue, then there's a new beginning. There's a new beginning. Not harping on the same thing over and over, because what that means is that even though you dealt with it, you were not finished with it. So if you're never going to be finished with it, how do they ever regain footing? How do they ever get a comeback from it if you never let it go? Come on, parents, now. So when you deal with something, make sure you're calm. Let's go back to that. Make sure that the situation is calm enough for you to administer the consequence for it. Make sure that you feel that consequence measures or meets whatever the problem was. All right? Make sure you have chosen off of your consequence chart a consequence that you feel is equal to whatever that issue was, whatever the problem was. All right? And then once all of that's done, there should be forgiveness. And maybe that's why we keep harping on and bringing up something. Is the lack of forgiveness. We have to learn how to forgive our children. The Lord has given us a new day, forgiven us for what happened yesterday. We have a brand spanking new day to start over. Our slate is clean. So we have to do that with our children. Forgive them. Teach them about being remorseful when they've done something. Teach them about forgiveness. And you can't teach them about forgiveness if you are not willing to forgive them. So that takes me back also to everything is a teachable moment. Everything. Because we are teaching them on the go. This is on-the-job training. We're teaching them how to be good human beings so that when they become adults, they'll already know how. They'll know how to be good human beings to other people. They'll know how to be good human beings to their children. They'll know how to be a good human being to you, their parent. So everything is a teachable moment. Everything. That's why I couldn't waste this beautiful sunrise. Everything is a teachable moment. So make sure that whatever the infraction, whatever the problem, the issue, you calm yourself down so you can handle it with love, and you use your consequence chart to choose a consequence as needed. And once that consequence is administered, and once that child has fulfilled whatever that consequence requires, then you must make sure you move on from that incident, from whatever happened, whatever was said or done. You have to move forward. You cannot continue to bring that up and throw it up in their face, as we say. You can't continue to do that because that means it's not over. And if it's not over, how can a child ever have any comeback from it? How can they ever regain footing? How do they ever save face? How do they ever get back at a place where, they can start over if you don't allow them to get to that place? So you have to teach them forgiveness by forgiving them. Because remember, parents, there are points. We're human too. So there are points we are going to have to ask them to forgive us. We make mistakes. We make the wrong choice. We do things impulsively. We are upset sometimes when we try to handle an issue and we blow it all out of proportion. Sometimes we're upset from work or from some other situation, and we displace that anger and pour it all on our children when we get home, and they are not even at fault. So we have to ask them for forgiveness. But they won't even know how to forgive us if we haven't taught them how to forgive us. All right? So a new day, the slate wiped clean, a new opportunity for them to start over, a new day, time to start over, a new opportunity, start over. And we're not just going to keep bringing up the past. Now, what we will do, if we need to bring it up, we will, but it needs to be a strategy behind it. So we bring it up because we're teaching a lesson. We bring it up because this may be the same crossroads where the child was before and made the wrong decision. So right there at that crossroads again is a great time to remind them of what their choice was before and what happened, what the consequences will be that go with that choice, what the consequences were that went with that choice. So discipline is all about helping children learn how to make better choices. It's not about punishment. I know many people think that's what it is. It's not about punishment. It's about teaching your child how to process the situation and process the consequences that come with the pros and the cons so they can make better choices. For more about that, you need to pull up my book on Amazon. You Need a Butt Whooping, and go through it. It teaches you that discipline really is all about teaching your children how to make better decisions. And it teaches you in the book that there are more choices, more options, more alternatives for consequences than just a butt whipping. It teaches you that spanking is not the only answer, that there are so many more. So go to Amazon, pull up the book, You Need a Butt Whooping by Frizelma Lynn. It teaches you discipline strategies. It walks you step by step through what discipline really is, how we need to learn how to properly discipline our children, because the end result is so our children can learn how to make better choices, because they are aware of whatever consequences come with the choice. And consequences come with every choice, parents. Every choice, absolutely every choice, whether it's a good consequence or a negative one, a reward or a punishment. But consequences come with everything. And we have to make choices about everything. So our children need to be taught the responsibility about making good choices. And then the accountability about what comes with that. And are you willing to, take what comes with it when you make that choice? So make sure we teach them in all of that once a situation is dealt with, once the consequence is administered and fulfilled, we can move forward. A new day, slate wiped clean, we can start over. You are forgiven. And use those words with your children. You are forgiven. Don't be afraid to let children know that you make mistakes. If you don't let them know that, you're lying to them. You are flat out lying to your children if you don't let them know that you make mistakes too. If you're not willing to say, oh, my bad. If you're not willing to say, I'm sorry, that's on me, I didn't mean to do it. Okay, I need to apologize. I need for you to forgive me. If you're not willing to say those words, if you've never said those words, oh my. Then we need to work on that part. Because you can't teach them forgiveness if you haven't learned the lesson yourself. So we as parents, be sure you tell your children when you've made a mistake, when you did something wrong, when you fell off the wagon, when you didn't do what you needed to do, or you were at a crossroad and you didn't really think about, you didn't process that thing all the way through. Say, I'm sorry. Say, please forgive me. Say, my bad. Say, I didn't mean it. I made a mistake. Children need to hear it come from you so that it'll be okay to come from them when they make a mistake. All right? A new day. Children will learn to forgive you and give you a clean slate to start over. Come on. So, parenting is all about really caring for every part of the child, their total being. We're preparing them to be adults. We're preparing them to be adults, not to be children. They already are that. And they're good at it. We're preparing them to be adults, to be equipped with everything they need, to be good, responsible, caring adults. So they'll know how to take care of their own children. If we don't train our children, then they won't know how to train their children. If we don't forgive our children, they won't know how to forgive theirs. If we don't ask for forgiveness, then our children won't know they need to ask for forgiveness. If we don't use every moment as a teachable moment, then we're going to miss out on so many things that we need to pour into our children to help them be absolutely amazing adults. So again, look at the beautiful sunrise. Oh, just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. It's the beginning of a new day. The beginning of a new day. Yesterday's slate is wiped clean. We get a chance to start over. Let your children have a chance to start over too. All right, remember, go to www.parenting911.org. Set up a strategy session with me. Let's talk about where you are. Let's talk about how you need to start saying, forgive me, I'm sorry. How you need to use moments as teachable moments. How you need to create that consequence chart. All right? So that you can already have something set up for consequences. Good, negative. Rewards, punishment. You can already have things set up. And you don't have to think that spanking is the only answer. Set up a strategy session. Let's see where you are. Let's talk about it. And then let's make the decision to be coached and transform into where you want to go. All right. Great talking with you. I look forward to talking with you later. And let me say this, just in case no one has told you today, mom, dad, grandmother, grandfather, aunt, uncle, whomever you may be in that child's life that you're raising, just in case no one has told you today, you are a good parent. You are. Just in case nobody's giving you a hug, I'm sending hugs to you today. And just in case nobody said, I love you, Well, parents, I'm sending love your way today. You are a good parent. We're going to work on being the absolute best parent you can be. This is for Zelma Lynn, the Parenting 911 coach. I look to talk to you soon. Bye.